What's going on, guys? MMuniz here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss one of my favorite topics, and that's going to be credit cards. Now, more specifically, we're going to go over two credit cards, the Wells Fargo Active Cash and the Wells Fargo Autograph Card. Now, I'm not going to do a breakdown of these credit cards because I've already done that in previous videos, and I'll have that linked in the description below. What I do want to say is I've had one of the cards for over a year and the other for about 6 months, and I'm about 90% satisfied. Now, with that being said, this video is going to focus on the other 10% where I'm not satisfied. And I'm going to go over 5 things that I think that everybody should know if you're going to be using this credit card in the future, or if you want to apply for these credit cards. Now, you may be wondering, why should I listen to this guy on YouTube about credit cards? Well, that's a great question. If I had to compare this to Star Wars, I'd like to consider myself a Grand Master Jedi when it comes to credit cards and credit card churning. Now, a lot of my viewers, you're probably going to be a Padawan apprentice, something like my wife or my brother-in-law. You know, maybe you're a bit more experienced, you're on your journey and you're already a Jedi Knight. That's great too. Now, at the end of the day, I've had over 30 credit cards, and I'm not even 32. I maintain around an 800 credit score, and I've never paid any interest on any of my credit cards. And I've made tens of thousands of dollars in returns just by taking advantage of credit card offerings and rewards. And everything that I have done, you guys can do as well. There's no reason that people can't take advantage of the same opportunities I have. It just takes a little bit of time and research. Now, I do have to give a quick little bit of credit for that Star Wars reference because I did get that from another credit card YouTuber named Spencer Johnson, who has fantastic content, so feel free to check him out. But with that said, let's get right into the video. All right, so the first thing we're gonna go over that I have an issue with is the rewards platform. More specifically, when you receive your rewards, whether it's after you make your purchases or your statement date. And that's where it's kind of weird because it's actually not linked to either of those things. Now, my thought was as soon as your statement posts, usually within a day or two later, you would get your reward points. And for my Wells Fargo cards, that's typically how it's worked. However, my father has the Active Cash, my grandmother has the Active Cash, my brother-in-law has the Active Cash. We all have this card and we all have different statement end dates, yet we all get our rewards around the 10th of the month. And I did a lot of research on Google and I couldn't find this. I think my dad did say he found something where someone said that it always comes on the 10th of the month. However, that's not how it works either. Because for this month, when my statement ended on the 10th, my thought was, all right, I'll get it on the 11th or 12th. And my dad's research said that it should come around that time as well. Well, my grandma ended up getting her reward points on the 12th. I got mine on the 14th, and I think my dad got his one day after me. So we all got our rewards points on a different date. Now, why does that matter? I mean, it really doesn't, but I have other credit cards, like from Chase, for instance, where no matter what, whatever credit card it is, when the statement closes, the next day I have those points. It's super easy. I know when I have access to my points, and that's how I like it. Just give our rewards points the day after our statement closes. That seems like it should make sense. So this brings us into the second issue. And now, once again, this is going to deal with the rewards, and most of my issues with the Wells Fargo cards deal with the rewards. And that's how you access the rewards program. So in the app, you click on the rewards ID and you have to select the credit card, which is fine. However, once you do that, it brings you to a page where you have to choose how you want to redeem them. So you go ahead and click on use rewards and then you have a bunch of options. When you click on those options, if you have 2 credit cards, once again, you have to select the credit card again, even though you've already done that. And then it finally brings you to the screen where you can start to redeem. And that may seem small, but a lot of times when I click on the rewards, I'm like, wait, did I mean this credit card or that credit card? And it just gets confusing. You should just be able to select the credit card with the rewards that you want to use and then redeem them. I mean, that's how it works for Chase. So for some weird reason with Wells Fargo, it's not as user-friendly. So once again, maybe not that big of an issue, but for me, it's just a minor annoyance. Now we get into number 3. And once again, this is going to be a redemption issue with the rewards. Now, a lot of good companies like Citi or Chase, they offer the ability to transfer to travel partners with certain credit cards. Now, to my knowledge, you can't do this with Wells Fargo. You can redeem for travel, but you're not going to get more money out of your rewards. If you have something like $100 in cash back on a Chase card and you transfer it to a Chase Sapphire Preferred card, and then you decide to transfer it to a travel partner like Southwest, using it for a flight, that $100 might be worth $200. So you're essentially doubling your return on your cash back, which is awesome. However, with Wells Fargo, you don't have that option. Typically, you're going to redeem for purchases or you're going to redeem for cash back, which is fine, but you know, this is definitely an opportunity for Wells Fargo in the future is add a third card that maybe it has an annual fee and has travel partners and gives us those benefits to be able to combine points and transfer to travel partners. Because if you do that, then you might start being more competitive with the big dogs, like the Chase trifecta. All right, for number 4, this one deals with kind of what I just talked about with the actual way you redeem the points. So I think for most people, when they have a cashback credit card, especially if it's their only card, they're gonna wanna redeem it for cash back. And the problem with Wells Fargo is, once again, it's just not that user-friendly. In order to redeem for cash back, it needs to be in $25 increments. So if you only have $22 at the end of the month, you're not gonna be able to redeem for anything. And yes, it's not really that big of a deal, but at the end of the day, those other companies we've talked about allow you to do it at any minimum. I can redeem $1 cash back on Chase if I really want to. The other issue, like I said, it's in increments of 25. So if you have $45 in rewards at the end of the month and you want to redeem for cash back, you can only redeem for $25. You can't redeem for $50 because you don't have enough. You know, your other $20 is just sitting there. So once again, it's just silly. Why can't you redeem in dollar increments? I feel like that's just the basic thing that the company should offer. So, you know, kind of annoying. Now, on top of that, there is a slight way around this, but this one's kind of annoying as well. It's the redeem for purchases. So if you have bought a $7.50 cappuccino from Starbucks and you have $7.50 in rewards, you can redeem for that purchase and you'll get a statement credit. So you don't need to hit that $25 tier, which this is excellent. However, once again, it's kind of annoying because you need to have the full rewards to cover the total cost. If you only have $7.40, you cannot redeem for that $7.50 purchase. You can't redeem for it and still owe 10 cents. You have to cover the cost of the entire purchase. And you know, sometimes you just don't spend in the small dollar increments. Maybe you only went out to dinner and paid your bills and each of your costs was $100 or something. So once again, just kind of a pain. You know, I'm always sitting with small amounts of rewards at the end of the month, and I'm someone that likes to see zeros. Like I want to just use it all, and you know, maybe I'm just being picky, but I feel like other companies do it better. Now let's talk about number 5, the 5th issue, and this is going to be the largest issue for everybody. I just totally know it's true. The Active Cash feels flimsy. It's not made out of metal like the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. If a credit card is not made out of metal, I don't want it. I'm actually just kidding. That's not the 5th issue, but maybe we can call that 4.5 because that's something that annoys me. I like cool credit cards. My next one is going to be Wells Fargo customer service in general. I have had to call them, and to be honest, I've just had negative experiences. I had to dispute a transaction, and this is something I rarely do. I spent about 20 minutes on the phone explaining what happened, and we ended up getting disconnected, which I guess, you know, maybe it was luck of the draw, but that was annoying. So I had to call back and explain the whole situation again. As soon as I did that, you know, they put in the dispute and they said, all right, you're going to hear back in a couple weeks. 4 months went by where I didn't hear anything. But what did happen, I received a bill basically letting me know that I lost. So I didn't receive any information. I only received the transaction back on my card as a bank adjustment saying that I owed the money. So obviously I was pretty ticked off about that because I felt like I didn't owe the company that money, like it was a false transaction. So once again, I had to call. And yet again, after about 30 minutes of explaining, we got disconnected again. And I don't ever get disconnected on calls. So I maybe luck of the draw, who knows. But either way, I had to call back a second time and tell the whole story again. And now it's opened back up. But I don't know, it's just, I've had disputed transactions in the past with Chase. You know, I always go back to Chase because I've had nothing but positive experiences with them, and it's not this hard. So maybe the customer service thing is just something that I've noticed and others haven't. However, if you go on Google and look at reviews for Wells Fargo, you're gonna see so many negative reviews. There's all sorts of things about scams and poor customer service, so, you know, do your research. Now, that being said, at the end of the day, if you had to pick one credit card because you don't believe in credit cards or you don't want to manage rewards, I still do recommend the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card. It is a fantastic credit card. It gives you 2% cash back on all of your purchases. There's just a ton of positives about this card that makes it easy for the everyday user. However, even though I think it is the best for an individual card holder, I think in terms of people that have other cards or groups of cards, I think there's a lot of opportunity, and I hope that you guys realize that from this video. Who knows, maybe Wells Fargo will watch this and they'll make some improvements. So I want to know from you guys, do you already have the Active Cash, Were you thinking about getting it? Let me know down in the comments. I do my best to answer all comments on all of my videos. And with that being said, if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button down below, subscribe to the channel. We do weekly videos on anything related to personal finance or fitness. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Take care.